Morning Glue Troopers. How's everybody doing today? Well, the Exodus diorama video went up last night to rave reviews, and I want to thank everybody for watching and commenting, and had a lot of fun doing it. Advanced my photography skills. I had not used a lot of the features on the camera in a long time. One of the, of course, I'm fairly self-critical, so as I watched, I was like, oh my gosh, I this and that and that. I'm like, nah. It's good. People are enjoying it. That's what matters. It has the aesthetic I wanted. And I thought I would talk about a few little things I did on it that you guys might appreciate. First off is that the, although I did desaturate the photos to give them sort of a period feel, you'll notice that some of the images are kind of untouched, almost in Technicolor, and others have kind of odd colors, especially the night stuff, and that was part of conscious decisions. The photo sets the mood, so when you photograph your model, and if you have any kind of editing software or anything, you can set a mood with it. For example, some of the night scenes I wanted to be creepy and eerie, so I made like, you know, maybe kind of purplish, maroonish skies, you know, different colors. Things that were deliberately done to, you know, the tints and everything. I wanted to give it kind of an eerie feel. And others where things are going good, hooray, we're going home, you know, maybe a little brighter, a little more Technicolor-ish. I had two different endings planned for it, and I liked both of them so much I couldn't decide, so I tacked them both on. That's why you kind of have at the end where you see the place, where they'd stayed by itself, showing everyone had left, but then during the musical outro, I wanted to show everybody packing up and leaving. And I had planned to do it a few more slides in there, but I realized it was starting, you know, it was starting to get a little, you start to jam, you can mess the thing up by trying to jam too much in there, and you learn that often less is more. And unfortunately, there was a mishap, but it happened after, and I'm not kidding, it happened 5 or 10 seconds after I took the very last photograph, which was, as you see the vehicles move out, the very last photograph I took is the very last photograph you see that I do the zoom, and that's of the set with everyone, you're showing everyone is left at the end of the music. As soon as I was done with that, I had set the helicopter side, taken the picture. I'm like, okay, that's a wrap. And I picked up the helicopter by the rotor blades, and I should have known better because I didn't have the locking nut on the bottom of the rotors, because when I built the model, I left the rotor blades off so I could paint it more easily. And I knew this, and the whole time I was filming this, I had picked it up by the tail, by the boom every time, nice safe way. For some reason, I mean, if you're gonna have a brain fart, that's the time to do it, when you're done with the production. And I picked it up by the rotor, started to move it, and gravity took over, and we had our on-set disaster. And it went straight to the floor and knocked off 2 landing gears, a main gear and a forward gear. And the good news is that despite relatively clean brakes, there was enough jaggedness on the main gear brake that I was able to glue it back on, and it looks like it's going to hold okay, although it's just a glue bond holding it on. Ironically, the nose gear, which didn't look to be broken that bad, actually as soon as I touched it, it fell off. And it actually turned out to be the one that was cantankerous to glue in place, because it just, the shape of the brake, it just wouldn't stand up on its own. Even inverted and sitting straight down on top, so I had to sit there and hold it with some quick bond glue until it got enough of a bite. So I got to be very delicate. I may wind up gluing the rotor into it and hanging it from the ceiling just to save on the landing gear, but I'd rather display it on its wheels if I can. But either way, not the end of the universe. If these are what you're calling problems, you're doing pretty good, right? So that's pretty much all there was to that. And it's kind of interesting, though. If you guys want, take a minute and go out to Mike Machat, Celebrating Aviation with Mike Machat channel, because he actually talks about something that dovetails in his latest episode, and he's mentioned before, that dovetails with what I was just talking about, and that is that he talks about how these box artists would use these unusual colors, these greens and yellows and stuff in the sky to give these certain ethereal effects. Well, I don't know if ethereal is my word, I don't know, but to me it seems that way. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is that when I was manipulating these photographs, the images I should say, because a lot of them are multi-layered, I wanted to give this sort of creepy feel to things, and some places I achieve that better than others. There are one or two places I'm like, yeah, I really should have tinted that more. And there's actually even a spot where I noticed one frame I actually forgot to chroma key out the green screen, but fortunately it's so subdued in the background, probably why I missed it, that it doesn't really take you out of the thing. And but especially on the night shots, I wanted those unusual purplish, kind of colors in the sky, and I thought that added a little gravitas to it. And I play with different. You'll notice the explosions, the white flashes in the background. They're different each time they do it, because I used a different technique each time, because I didn't want you just to see the same thing over and over again. And although not flawless, and I'm like, well, I could make a few corrections, but you know what? It's good. Had a good time doing it. People have even asked if there's going to be a sequel. I hadn't even thought about that, and I might at some point. The only problem is that you actually writing the story would be the easy part. The problem is that then you run into, the sequel just is never as good as the original. But I'm not planning on it, but I wouldn't rule it out. I do need to strike the set because we need the garage back. There is one thing I would point out, and I really got to play with my photography skills a little bit on this, learn a few features of camera I either never used or hadn't used in a long time. But one of the things that I need to point out is that the green screen and the red screen, because of physical constraints, I had to put the set right up against the green screen. That's not the way you're supposed to do it. I could have enhanced my green screening if I had moved the board about 7 feet away and put a small backlight behind it to help create hard edges that can be chroma keyed out properly. You can go to any YouTube video and see about how to do that. But that was something I just didn't have the physical space to do, because we still have to use the garage. So I am probably, before I strike the set, I'm probably going to move things around a little bit and get some just some still pictures, images of just green screen photos of some of the equipment and stuff, because I might want to use them in another video. And but I'm happy with that. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. I've got a lot of positive feedback, and now I get to work on my other models. You guys have sent me a lot of neat stuff. I'm really anxious. I want to finish that Golden Knights Twin Otter and those two Glencoe kits. I'm thinking about the lunar module. I was looking at the real lunar module. I was like, you know what? Why not paint it like the real one? Make everything gold, then paint maybe the framing that aluminum color, and then put some black on it, and kind of make it look like the color scheme of the original lunar module. That might be kind of cool. And the space station, it just begs to be left white, which is probably the color space station would be for reflective reasons. And, highlight a few colors on it. So that's probably what I'll do with that. Anyway, we have lots of things to do today, family stuff, so I had better get cracking. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. Hope you had a wonderful morning. I'm glad you're enjoying the Exodus video. And guys, have a happy holiday and model on.